I have spent a lot of my time in the FOMO, that fear of missing out, or feeling anxious, or feeling super like there's not enough time and I'm not going to get things done, and I've only got so much time on earth and I'm not doing what I'm here to be doing, and I'm not following my path, and am I a starseed that's supposed to be on this ascended guidance journey and teaching? And do you see how that has all gone up into my head? Not grounded, not in my body. I'm not feeling my body at all. I'm all up in my head, in my mind, and thinking and thinking and thinking. Versus, oh, here's this piece of information, this content. That looks cool. Oh my gosh, that's very exciting. That is making me feel kind of tingly, kind of like I want to follow it. Do you see the difference? Do you feel the difference? Well, I'll give you one of my favorite examples. Now, this is for those of you that do ID as a starseed of whatever kind or race or vibration that is resonating with you. Now, I'm a channeler. I have been for a very, very long time. I've channeled a variety of different wonderful benevolent spirit, ranging from the ascended masters to the elementals, angelic realms, and the galactics, and many, many others. And it is becoming much more prevalent, much more accepted. There's more people understanding, waking up. It's in the culture. It's on all of the different social media. One of the things that I've seen in the last couple of years that gives me some cause to pause. Seeing in different groups where people are talking about starseed origin, and you're discovering there is all this content that says, oh, I'm really feeling this connection with the stars, galactics. I'm seeing these pictures of star beings or star races. I'm hearing stuff. I'm seeing people channel like me, or listening to these meditations and thinking, wow, that's really cool. That's really resonating with me. That's making me feel something I've not felt before. I'm going to investigate this. And then you start to wonder, well, where am I from? How do I know what I am and where I am? And so you go into these groups and you see this content, and you might find this group, say, called the Pleiadians, and you're like, oh, Pleiadians, that's really cool. That's totally resonating with me. And there is this bulleted list of information. And you're like, oh yeah, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. And it's like information that you just feel is totally resonating with you. It describes you to a T. And you ride with that for a little while. And then a few months later, you see something somewhere else or in a different group. And maybe this one says Syrian. It has this bulleted list. And you're like, that's me, that's me, that's me. Now, I want you to take a moment and say to yourself, how do I use my discernment in this situation? Am I going to believe everything that I read the second I believe it, just because someone has published it and it's really resonating with me? Or am I going to explore a little? Am I going to talk to people? Am I going to read a lot of content? Look at things on different social media platforms. See what is resonating online, but also in my body when I'm out and about in the world. And what works for me? And what might not be necessarily true? So when it comes back to the starseed thing, know that a lot of these bulleted lists are really Psychology 101. They are really lists of traits that are very general to particular groups of people. So people that are sensitive are really going to resonate with certain things as opposed to people who are not. So if you are somebody who's identifying as a starseed, you're already sensitive. You have the ability to tap into the collective consciousness, to feel the energy that is going on with the people that are resonating like you. So you already are doing that. So if you see a list that says something like, you feel better when you're alone to recharge your batteries. Yep. You feel better when you're looking at the stars. You feel better when you are in situations where you're talking with people that are listening, that are respecting your choices. You feel sometimes uncomfortable or awkward in large groups, right? So yeah, of course you can check all of this. But somebody that's extroverted and is not, they'll be over here going, nope, nope, nope. Doesn't mean they're not a starseed, and vice versa. So you really need to take some time and figure out if that's something that's going to work for you or not. Is it just a list from a Myers-Briggs personality collection? Because sometimes they are. Is it just a personality list and quiz? Or is it information that is genuinely channeled by people that are connecting with these beings? Now, I want you to take a moment and say to yourself, how do I use my discernment in this situation? Am I going to believe everything that I read, the second I believe it, just because someone has published it and it's really resonating with me? Or am I going to explore a little? Am I going to talk to people? Am I going to read a lot of content, look at things on different social media platforms, see what is resonating online, but also in my body when I'm out and about in the world? And what works for me? And what might not be necessarily true? The things that you experience, that you choose, that you wish to believe is truth, and those that you don't. And understanding that whichever way that you choose is okay. And any other comments or anything that you have as a question you'd like to ask, please feel free to pop it in below. I always love to answer questions, and I think it is a really great way for us all to connect as a community.